Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a question and answers video. I filmed two Q&As probably like a week or two ago, two Q&As, and I didn't like them both. I was being really hard on myself, but I also didn't want to upload something that I wasn't proud of. Here is my third time at doing a Q&A. I got you guys to ask me questions on Twitter, and I just asked you guys to ask me like real honest questions rather than just like the silly like usual Q&A questions. So I have a lot on my phone that I've screenshotted and I'm gonna go through them. Let's just get started. Okay, this question is from Rachie and she says, when was the moment you knew you wanted to marry Gabriel Conte? It's funny because the first day that we hung out together, he took me to church and took me to lunch and it was really lovely. And then after that night, I went home and I texted my mom and said like, I'm gonna marry this boy, like just watch. I have no idea why I said that. I think I just kind of knew inside that like this boy was so one of a kind. We weren't even dating, we had hung out for one day. So I wasn't like fully serious, like, okay, I'm gonna marry him in a couple months. The actual like time that I knew I was ready to marry Gabe was June of last year, June of 2016. And we had taken a trip out to Florida, so it was my first time meeting his family and all his friends. And I guess just once I was in Florida, surrounded by all his friends, a lot of his friends are married couples already. They also got married young, made me realize and made me just really like at peace at the thought of like getting married young, because I kind of thought it was crazy like getting married at 20 years old. Seeing how they were all doing it and seeing how happy they all were just made me like ready in June. Not that I didn't get married till December, but that's just when I knew that I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna marry this boy and I'm ready and I'm not scared anymore. This question is from Joseph and he says, do you think you'll ever get a tattoo? First of all, everyone always laughs at how I say tattoo because I say tattoo like it has a D in it. So, I don't think I'll ever get a tattoo personally. There's a couple reasons why. It's not that I don't like tattoos, because I like tattoos on other people, looking at them and like appreciating the art of the tattoo. Whenever I meet someone with a tattoo, I like to talk to them about like what it means and like how much it hurt and everything like that, but I would never get one myself. I'm really not good with pain. I am very indecisive. I think if you know me like really well, you'll know how bad my indecisiveness is. I feel so sorry for Gabe sometimes because he really puts up with it a lot. I don't know how to explain it right, but like sometimes we might be out for dinner or something and for some reason, my brain literally can't pick a meal and I might give him like 3 options and he'll have to pick for me. So that's also one reason why I couldn't get a tattoo, because I just wouldn't be able to decide exactly what I want on my body or where I want it, and I feel like I'd be afraid that like once I get it done, I would like change my mind. But there is a tattoo that I really love that like if I ever change my mind, that I feel like this would be the tattoo that I would get. I'll leave it on the screen now. It stands for God is greater than the highs and the lows. My low is just showing his butt to the world. If I was to ever get a tattoo, it would be something like that that's like related to my faith, but I wouldn't get one. So, okay. Next question. So this question is from Bree and she asks, do you ever wish you lived in Australia instead of America but still be with Gabriel Conte? This is a really like raw and honest answer. Yes, I wish I lived in Australia. I don't think I realized how much I was going to miss it until I moved to LA. In saying that, I love LA and I love everything that you can do in California. You can drive to the snow, to the desert, to the beach. I guess I'm biased because I've lived in Australia all my life. If there was like an opportunity to move back with Gabe and work was there for us, then I would really consider it and really pray about it. Work is in Los Angeles for us and that is why we live here. That's why I moved over here. This question is from Courtney and she says, what is something you and Gabe argue about? Something me and Gabe argue about. I didn't even think about this answer before I read it. We're really lucky because we don't fight. Like Gabe and I haven't fought before, but everyone gets upset sometimes. It's usually over little things, but whenever like we are down and we are upset, it never lasts long. I don't know why. I guess that's just the people that we are and the relationship that we have. If we're having a bit of like silent time to ourselves because we're all upset, after a little bit we'll just look at each other and like one of us will make the other person laugh. You know when you're being really serious for a long time and then you look at someone and you smile and you're like, dang it, I just freaking smiled. That usually is what happens with us, and then we just like cuddle, which is so gross. This question is from Savannah, and she says, when are you guys having kids? With social media, people think I'm pregnant all the time. I am definitely 100% not pregnant at the moment, but we really do want to have kids, and we're so excited to be parents, but we just don't want to be parents for a while. We have our own things that we want to do, and we want to travel together, and we just want to like experience life together first before settling down with a child. This is my baby right now anyway. I don't really need another baby at the moment, unless it was another baby dog, then I would gladly have another baby. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, and I don't know what God has in store for us, but I would say like 5 years maybe minimum, and we might start thinking about having kids. Next question is from Vanessa, and she said, what was the worst date you've ever been on? I haven't been on a lot of dates. Obviously Gabe and I date each other a lot. Like, we'll go to the movies and he'll take me to dinner, and we'll have like different dates together. But as for like the dating scene, I didn't really have one. I went on a couple dates in high school. The only date that really comes to mind that was like awkward was when I went to the movies with a boy in my school, and we were watching some like action movie that he picked that I wasn't really into. He doesn't watch my videos, and he probably doesn't even remember this. I'm not naming him though. I think it was like during the movie or something. He like tried to hold my hand, but he was sitting here and he tried to hold this hand. We were like probably like play doing something, and then he just like tried to hold it. I can't even remember. It was just awkward. I was like, you alright? And then I like let go, and we like never went on a date ever again. The next question is from B, and she says, the most painful words you've heard from a person. I'm pretty okay with like getting hate, because as a YouTuber and putting so much of yourself out online, you kind of not get used to it, but you kind of get used to it in a way. Like, a lot of it doesn't even bother me, and I just delete it or I block it. I wouldn't say this was painful, although it did make me cry. When people were calling me pregnant, a lot of people, like, I am not exaggerating, thousands of people were calling me pregnant from an Instagram picture that you guys can go and find because I turned the comments off. It went on for a couple days. Like, people tweeted me and commented on all my other Instagram pictures saying like, wow, she's pregnant, can't wait for the bubba, oh look, baby bump. And it was just like, made me feel so insecure about myself. For me, I was like, who in their right mind would go and comment and be like, wow, she's pregnant? Like, you just don't say that to someone. If you don't know that they're pregnant, don't say that. But to answer your question, the most painful words that I have heard from a person was when I started dating Gabe, and I just got the most hate I've ever got in my life when we announced that we were dating, because everyone was shipping Gabe with a different girl. When Gabe and I started dating and we didn't put any of it on social media, it was very private and secret. We didn't really post pictures together. I posted like a picture of his head when we went to Disneyland. We didn't do any videos together as friends or anything. So when we announced it, it truly came out of the blue, and people were like, what the heck? He's meant to be dating blah blah blah. I was now exposed to hundreds and thousands of girls, which I had not been exposed to before, but everyone was telling me that he was meant to be dating her, and that he chose the wrong girl, that I'm not as good as this other girl, and I'm not as pretty as this other girl. He should leave me to date the other girl. And eventually, probably like after a month maybe, it started to tone down. I still get like tweets and comments saying like, he married the wrong girl, he should have married blah blah blah. That's like so rude and so painful to read and to hear. So that's the most painful thing that someone has ever said to me. Okay, this question is from London, and she says, how did you and Gabe set boundaries to stay pure before marriage? And I got this question so much. I guess in a way it was easy-ish. We both knew what we wanted, and we both knew that we didn't want to sleep together until we were married. We're so in love with each other, but we knew that we didn't want to do that, and so we just didn't. But in saying that, you still have to set boundaries just to make sure you don't like fall into it. Before we were married, we had 2 separate beds, and it was like so hard because me being so in love with him, I just wanted to go and cuddle him all night. You kind of know that those boundaries are set in place for a good reason. It's worth it in the end. Okay, this question is from Eliza, and she says, do you get paid on Instagram? If so, how much and how? If you don't want to answer, all good, love you. I love you too. I thought I would explain this because a lot of people think that like once you hit a certain mark on Instagram, you get paid per picture, which I don't think is true at all. I don't get paid per picture. Gabe doesn't get paid per picture. It was really funny actually because Gabe and I met someone and they didn't know what we did. She was just talking about Instagram and she was like, oh yeah, if you pass 1 million on Instagram, then they pay you like per picture you post. And we were both just like, no, I don't think that's true. Long story short, you don't get paid per post that you do on Instagram, but you can have paid pictures, like sponsored posts. That is when a brand is going to pay you to promote their product. So it might be some makeup or it might be some clothes. It really could be anything. So I don't get paid for everything that I post on Instagram. It's only if I have a certain deal that I'm doing with a company, if I'm working with a specific company, and then I post something on Instagram. And then to answer how much, it's different for everybody and it's different for every deal that you do. I can't say that how much I get paid is the exact same as how much someone else gets paid because it's really different. I'm sure you've heard YouTubers say before that we aren't allowed to discuss how much exactly we get paid because we sign contracts for it. Okay, so I think this will be the last answer that I question. What did I just say? I think this will be the last answer I question. This is from Leslie and she says, can you do an American accent? First of all, so many of you guys say I have an American accent and I don't. I promise you I do not have an American accent. This is something that I've wanted to talk about on my channel for a while. You just gotta know that my accent wasn't super strong to begin with. In saying that, I do have a video from when I was younger which I'm sure I'll like react to one day and you'll really hear my accent then because I was like 10 years old in it or something. I sounded like a little chipmunk and I had such a strong Australian accent. Thought I would end this video with an American accent because everyone always wants me to do one and I thought I would do one to show you guys the difference between my accent now and the accent of an American girl. So I'm going to end this video with an American accent. 3, 2, 1. So guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That would mean a lot. Thank you to everybody who asked me questions. I love you guys so much. If you have any suggestions that you want me to do, comment down below and tell me what video you'd like to see next, and I'll be reading and replying to your comments. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Weird, right? It was so weird.